Hiya, welcome back to Stillwater's ASMR. I apologise for the hair, and I just realised my chin is red because I've been sitting resting my chin on my hand, and I just noticed when I start recording that I've got a little red chin. So that's why that's going on like that. And I have a little red nose for some reason. Don't know why. Yeah, so I look a state. That's just my life these days. I'm not even gonna apologise for it. I am filming from the same location I did in my last video, which I just checked was 4 weeks ago, so I apologise. I'll do a bit of a life update. And notice the wall is a different colour, so that's exciting. So 4 weeks, that's a while. So, yeah, quite a lot has happened in that time. I had an operation. I had to have abdominal surgery, and I was told it would be like sort of 3 months' time. And then I got a phone call going, it's in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks ago, today, actually, yeah, 2 weeks ago today, I was in the hospital for abdominal surgery, which was all very sort of sudden. It's nothing serious, I'm doing fine, recovering well. I'm really pleased with how the recovery's gone. A bit sore lately because I've been overdoing things, because I've got a croft and a toddler and I keep lifting things, which you're really not meant to do after abdominal surgery. But things are going well on that front. But because I wasn't allowed to do any heavy lifting for like the week after, I was staying with my parents for a week, and so I wasn't able to record anything because I was away from home. And apologies. So yeah, recording wasn't an option, and like the 2 weeks before I went away, because I was told, right, you're going to be going in like really short notice, I was flat out trying to get everything done before I went in for surgery. We had final sheep that had to go to the marts to get sold. That's our older ewes and the boy lambs. Prices continue to be horrendous. The boys went for like half the price as what they did last year. The ewes, the older ewes, a couple of them went £1 each, like £1 an animal. Like, that's shocking. So, but it is what it is. That's the problem with the sales. You have no control over what things go for. The most important thing is I don't have to feed them anymore because they're older cross animals. The purebred Shetlands cope better in the conditions here. The crossbreeds need more feeding, and the older they get, the more feeding they need. Some of them were starting to lose teeth and things, so they need like sort of richer feed, which costs more money. So they're someone else's problem now. And I will miss them though, because they were sweet. And it turned out the sheep that we had purchased at the marts a while back, that I mentioned in my last video, they have foot rot, which is a bacteria which is contagious, and it's a nuisance and a nightmare. And it gets into the ground and then it spreads. So we have been treating those animals. So we were treating them before I went in for my op. Basically give them a injection of antibiotic and like trim the feet and clean the feet up, and spray the feet and everything. And we'll just have to, we've checked them twice now. There was a bunch of them that there was like 4 the first time that had foot rot, and then when we checked them again a week later, 2 more had come down with it. So we'll be checking them again before we put them in with the ram and the rest of the flock. So they've been kept quarantined from all the rest of the flock. And then once they come out of those fields will be left fallow for like a month or so before any other animals goes on them, just to give the bacteria a chance to die before we put anything else there. So that's been fun. So I've been busy with the croft. I have been busy decorating my daughter's bedroom. I will give you a quick sneak peek and I'll tell you about the drama. This is why my hair is like frazzled, and you know, I found a grey hair the other day. I swear it was just this. Just, oh my word, oh my word. So yeah, like before going in for my op, I was flat out preparing for being out of action for a week plus. So I didn't have time to record because my child-free time was spent like I was flat out. And then once I had my op, I was at my parents' for a week, wasn't able to record. And then since I've gotten home, the child-free time I have had, I have been painting. Like, I have been putting so much time and effort into this room because I just want it done. So I've got no studying done. I'm still no further forward with my studies. I need to get my studies done, but there's just keeps being, oh, something else it needs doing. Oh, something else needs doing. The next thing will be the sheep need to go to the ram in a couple of weeks' time. And then, oh, that was another thing we had to do before. Before I went for my op, we had to check all the breeding ewes and the ram and do like their pre-tupping time checks. So you give them a vitamin drench, give them, you know, their worm and treatments and all that kind of stuff, and check their feet and give them a bit of a check over. I'm glad we did, because some of our ewes had really overgrown feet because it's been so wet. The ground is so soft, so their feet haven't been naturally worn down, because normally just them walking about, it helps keep the feet worn down, but it's been so wet this year. Their feet were all like overgrown, and we were really shocked because we only trimmed them like a few months ago at clipping time, and they were already like really overgrown. So if it ends up being a really wet winter, we're gonna have to keep an eye on their feet. Jeez. Adding in the ones with foot rot as well, it's just. But the ram is so cute. So we have a Shetland ram, and we had a Texel ram who we've sold because we're not going to use him. And the Shetland ram is like really shy, and the Texel ram was quite friendly and forward-coming, and he'd come up to you and headbutt you if you weren't paying attention, and he wasn't. I didn't like him. Whereas the Shetland ram's really shy and he won't come near you unless there's other sheep around, and then he'll like stay close to the other sheep. When we sold the Texel ram, he was by himself for a couple of days, and I went out to feed him and he would not come anywhere near me. Like, even for the nuts, he wouldn't come anywhere near me. So I put the Caddy lamb, the bottle reared lamb that we've had, who I'm really fond of, who's male, so should have been going to the marts. I put him in with the ram, and I'm like, oh look, he's serving a job now, he's keeping the ram company, so we need to keep him. So he's been like spared for another year, so he won't go in the freezer for at least another year, because he's like really sweet. He goes for cuddles and stuff, and I love him. And our daughter loves him too, so she goes and gives him kisses and cuddles and things. By next year he'll have grown a lot bigger, and he'll not be so cute. He'll probably be quite bargy and obnoxious, so by then I won't feel so bad about putting him in the freezer. But it's really sweet the way the ram, I had to check the ram's feet and everything. You have to catch him first, and he's so nervous, like just really nervous. There was, when we first bought him, he actually went for a swim rather than come near us. He started swimming out to sea, and we had to just pull back and let him come back ashore. So he really isn't, he's quite wild. He's from the hills, he's wild as can be. And but he's quite a nervous little guy, and it was so cute because we put the lamb in with him, and he was like straight like Velcro to the lamb, like going round following him. And I went in there, and the lamb came to me for fuss and cuddles, and then the ram came too, because the ram would rather be close to me and close to the lamb than by himself at the other side of the field. So he felt so safe with the lamb that he would rather be near me. And so I was able to just grab a hold of him when he came over with the lamb. So that's quite nice, using the lamb to kind of make handling the ram much easier. And he's a really nice ram to work with because when you get a hold of him, he's really peaceable. He sits really nicely and lets you just do what you need to do, and then you let him go and off he goes. And it's nice because if you get one that's really obnoxious, it makes life a lot more difficult. Um, so yeah, been busy with that, and now it's like feeding the yows to prepare for, and the ram to prepare for topping time. So the rams expend a lot of energy at topping time, and so you have to make sure they're like in prime condition. They're like athletes, and obviously the better condition the yows are in, and the better chance that they'll get pregnant and the pregnancy will take and get established. And then you kind of just maintain them over the winter. You don't want them dropping condition, but you don't want them getting fat either. Because if you feed them too much, the lambs will also grow too big, and then at lambing time you have problems because you've got these huge lambs, and then it makes the birth harder. So there's so much things to consider, so many things. What I need to do is I need to sit down and write down like a diary for the year of all the tasks I need to do in each month, in the farming calendar, because I feel like I'm like, oh, there's something that we should have done like a week ago or 2 weeks ago and we're behind schedule, and stressful. And there's so many jobs that like we wanted to get done that we're nowhere near completing. So sheds that were supposed to get built and projects that were meant to happen that just haven't happened. Fences that need replaced or repaired or built, and just never ending. And I'm just hoping that when I get my throat operation next year that it's a good time in the like farming calendar, because it can't be at lambing time because I'll be too busy. So when they come with a date, I'll need to be checking the diary and be like, apologies. But what else has been happening in the last month? Just this, I think really it's been painting this room. So it had blue and red walls previously, so there's a red wall behind me and then the rest were blue. And I was originally just going to paint all of it white and then put up Winnie the Pooh wallpaper and some Winnie the Pooh stickers. But after putting the first coat on, which admittedly didn't fully cover the colour underneath, there's still a lot of blue showing through, but the blue and the white, and it's got a blue carpet in here, it looked so cold. Now my husband hates like white paint as like a decorating with white paint. I often use it. So for example, my office is white and my husband doesn't like it. He's like, it's too clinical, it's too cold. And after painting that first coat, I was like, oh, he's right, that is too cold and clinical for a child's bedroom. Like, it was really cold feeling. So I was like, okay. And I had to buy more paint because I didn't have enough paint to do like 3 coats. It was what I was going to need. So I have to buy more paint. How about I go and get like some kind of like magnolia or an ivory or a cream or something, just add a bit of warmth. My husband was like, what a good idea. Like, fancy suggesting that. And I went to the shop and found this paint, Soft Peach, and I was like, oh, that is a lovely colour. It is it's a beautiful colour, beautiful kind of nice warmth to it, but it wasn't pink, but it had more colour to it than just plain ivory or cream. So it had a bit of colour, a bit of warmth, and I was like, but it's still quite a neutral colour, so it would go nicely with the blue carpet, and it should work well with all the Winnie the Pooh stuff I've bought. Got home and I started painting, and so it was going on nicely. It's really thick paint. It was going on okay. You put your first paintbrush on and then a roller, and then when you have to like reapply paint to the brush or the roller and then go back and try and blend it in with the bit you've just done, the bit I'd just done was just coming straight back off the wall. And I was like, oh no. And then I try and fix it and make it worse. And so I was just like trying to paint as quickly as I could so the paint would stay on the wall long enough, like try and keep the paint on the wall. And I was just throwing paint at the wall, and it was like, oh, like the texture is horrendous, and there's bits where it just came off, and I was like, I can't fix that. And so I painted the whole room. And my husband came home and he's like, why didn't you stop as soon as it wasn't working? Like, why would you paint the whole room badly? Because it looked terrible. Like, terrible. And like, even now, you can see like where paint has run, you can see where paint was lifted off and there was like lines and stuff. And he's like, why would you do that? And I'm like, because it genuinely didn't enter my head not to. I'd started painting, and the idea of just not doing it didn't even enter my brain. Like, genuinely, it just didn't register that was an option. And I don't know if that's like my neurodivergency or what, but I just literally, I was like, I'm painting this wall, and I didn't even stop to register that maybe I should stop and consult someone and maybe consider doing something else. No. So I then had used a lot more paint than I'd anticipated. I had to get more paint, which was like another delay. I could have cried, honestly, because I just wanted the room done, and because I wanted my daughter to be in here by now. Like, I want my daughter in here about a month ago, and it's just been dragging on and dragging on because it's been like one thing after another of why I couldn't get to it. And then once I did start getting to it, it would be, I'd be able to get so much done, and I'd have to leave it for a few days, and I'd have to come back to it. And so at the weekend, I was in here with a paintbrush, just going over all the bits where the paint had come away, and you could still see the blue clearly underneath. And just like spot touching up, which was most of it. Basically, I painted the whole room again with a paintbrush. All the bits where it looked really bad. And today I've just been in and done like the third and a half coat. So it's like the second full coat, and this time around it went on so much better because it's this paint on itself. So it's now looking a lot better, and I'm trying to decide if I need to do one more coat or not, or if that's like good enough. I'm going to see if I can turn this around. Oh, there we go. So we have got, I was going to repaint the ceiling, but I think I'm just going to leave it. I think I'm just going to leave it. It was white before, I'm going to leave it white, and I think I'm just going to be lazy and say it's good enough, and not bother painting it again. But we have gotten soft peach on these walls, and then this wall behind me, I just did a couple coats of white because the wallpaper is going to go on this wall. So I just needed to get enough white on to mask the worst of the red. There's still a bit of kind of red showing through, but it's covered it enough to where when they put the wallpaper on, it won't be like red showing through the wallpaper, because it's probably quite cheap wallpaper. And so yeah, I just have to very carefully take the tape off, but it's looking, I mean, I'll show you this bit here, let's see, so you can see what I mean about how bad the paint job is. I mean, it looks terrible. That's like what it's like. But it's good enough. It's a 2-year-old child's bedroom. I don't think she's going to care about the texture. I've just thrown caring about texture out the window, and I'm going for like colour coverage. So as long as there's no blue showing through and it's kind of got a uniform colour throughout, I'm like, that's good enough. If the texture is terrible and there's like run marks, I don't care. It's a 2-year-old's bedroom. It's not like the living room or the kitchen or somewhere where like we're going to have lots of guests and stuff. When she's old enough to care, she can fix it herself. Yeah, And I'm hoping with it being like a soft peach, I'm hoping it'll age well in terms of even if we swap out like the bed sheets and the decor items, I'm hoping that we won't have to repaint anytime soon. So it's like this will do for hopefully quite a while. You know, we can swap out the wallpaper on the wall and that's it sort of thing. So yeah, it's gonna be I'm really excited for it being finished. There's gonna be like her bed, and then I'll swap you around again. Her like the single bed will be over there in that side there. I'm gonna then have the futon beside it, so that if she falls out of the bed, she'll land on a soft landing. I've got an IKEA unit that's gonna go across that wall. This wardrobe that's currently sitting in the middle of the floor will be up against this wall. Her bookcase will be over there in the corner. Then here where I'm sitting is going to be an IKEA kitchen, which I've ordered and I'm so excited about. It was my daughter's second birthday in this last month, and she got a Duplo house, which is like so exciting, from her grandparents. I have to do a video with it. I think it might be the same house that Miss Vindicat did a video of when her son, I think he was 2 as well when he got it, and it's like amazing, and my daughter's loving playing with her Duplo, and I might do like a video of some of the toys that she's received and things like that. Well, I'll do a video showing you around her room when we've moved in. So when everything's in, I will do like an unveil video, and show you like her bedroom, because I'm so excited about how it's gonna look. A little shout out to Miss Vindicat. I have no idea if she'll see this video. I just hope she's doing okay, because she's not uploaded any content in a while, and just genuinely hoping that everything's going well with her. Sending her some love. So yeah, but that's why like a month ago I was like, ooh, more content, and then the last month just everything went chaotic. As I said, because I got that surgery like sprung on me. I've been told, oh, it'll be in 3 months' time, and then they were like, it's happening in 2 weeks' time. So that basically rewrote my plans. So I had to drastically sort of flat out get everything done before the surgery, and then that's this painting shenanigans has been keeping me occupied since the surgery, because I just really wanted it done. But because it went quicker, the coat that I did this morning went a lot quicker. I was like, oh, I think I have enough time to quickly record a video, and I'll try and get it uploaded today, because I'm away for work again for the next couple of days, and then it's working with sheep at the weekend, and then yeah, it's been flat out. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I've been starting to try and think about Christmas already and buying gifts, and I need to start writing Christmas cards soon as well, because goodness, it'll be, you know, the end of November before we know it. And yeah, just generally, where has the last month gone? I have actually been quite struggling not being able to record any content, because I enjoy doing ASMR videos, and there's so many I want to do, and I've not been able to, and it's like my unwind time, it's like time for me. So yeah, I've missed you guys, and I've been like itching to get videos recorded and not been able to, just because I've been flat out. So yeah, here I am. I'm gonna wrap this one up, and I'm just realizing I'm sticky. I was given the cat laxatives, and now I'm sticky, because I think I ended up wearing more of it than went down the cat's throat. But yeah, just I'm so excited with how much better this room is looking, because I said like a week or so ago it looked terrible, truly terrible, and I was just thinking, what have I done? But it's coming together, and I'm hoping my husband can get the wallpaper done. I'm not doing the wallpaper. That's not happening. I'm hoping my husband can do the wallpaper, and that we can... I've already ordered, like, I've got all the bedding and everything. It's all arrived. It's been washed, ready to go on the beds and everything. And my daughter's next size up clothes are already washed and in the wardrobe, ready for her. Because she's like gone through a growth spurt and she's needing to go up a size, and they're all in that wardrobe, which is inaccessible right now because it's like shoved up against other furniture. So we're getting there. And I said I'm so excited for like the toys I've got ordered for her for Christmas and everything, and it's just really funny getting excited about the gifts that she's getting because I know she's gonna love them. My husband's like, don't get her too much, and I'm like, don't worry, I'm trying not to go overboard. I'm picking like certain items, and then like, so for example, she's gonna get a play kitchen and then a Duplo farm to go with the Duplo house, and that's like it in terms of like big gifts. Anything else will be kind of like accessories to that, and I'm gonna suggest to the family members some things they can get that will like complement that. So for example, like pots and pans for the toy kitchen and a tea set and that kind of thing. So things that will go with what she's getting and complement it, rather than like lots of different things. And she's like nailing jigsaw puzzles. It's just like, we got her jigsaw puzzle for her birthday, and she was doing it in like 2 seconds flat, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe we should have gotten you a more challenging one. Which is exciting though, because I was 2 years ago, when I was waiting to give birth, I had to go stay with my parents for 2 weeks beforehand because I couldn't stay where I live and be like close to my due date, because if there was any complications it would be a hassle getting to the hospital, so they ask you to go closer to the hospital. So I stayed with my parents for the 2 weeks before I gave birth, and I did a lot of jigsaw puzzles in that 2 weeks, just something to do because I was bored. And after my operation, and I was staying back at my parents' house for a week, I was doing jigsaw puzzles, but this time the difference was I was doing them with my daughter. I mean, they were significantly easier children's jigsaw puzzles, but I was sitting doing jigsaw puzzles with the daughter who I was waiting for like 2 years, and it was just, there was something so special about that, to be sitting at my parents doing jigsaw puzzles with my daughter after like 2 years previous waiting for her to arrive. So that was pretty cool. While I was at my parents' house, I like decluttered a bathroom cabinet and organised it. I decluttered and organised their mug cupboard in the kitchen, the pots and pans cupboard, a bunch of my dad's paperwork, their tapes and CDs, basically anything they would let me touch. I was like decluttering and organising, and it was interesting because my mum was like, this is great. My dad was like, stop touching my stuff. Because my mum's been getting like into the swing of like decluttering and organising, and I think my dad was feeling a bit vulnerable and insecure. I think he was a bit like, you're gonna get rid of all my stuff, and I'm like, no, I won't, I promise. But yeah, so that's, I've probably waffled on for long enough. I don't actually know how relaxing this will be because I think I'm too like hyped up. I just had a can of Coke, and so I think I'm talking probably far too fast for this to be decent ASMR. I might go downstairs to my office and record an actual ASMR content, but I'll double check what time it is because I might not have enough time. I might go do some chores that I know I need to get done first. Otherwise I'll never, like, I have to drive down to my parents' house tonight. So I don't want to be going down at like stupid o'clock at night. And I still need to do things like pack and things like that. So I might go and pack quickly and then see if I can do another ASMR video before coming back here and seeing if I need to repaint or if this will be enough. It's looking quite good already. So fingers crossed I don't have to do any more painting because I hate painting. If I ever chat on my channel about I'm thinking about painting a room, please in the comments be like, don't do it. You know you hate it. Like smack me upside the head and tell me to stop being silly, because it's not my strong point. There's a reason why there's people who you pay to do that for you. Anyway, I hope you are all in good health. I hope you're all keeping well. Take care of yourselves. And I will catch you sometime soon. Bye bye.